All right, so I'm officially recording right now. Welcome everybody, second podcast, Debo and Friends. I'm here with Cage Medea, also known as Man Stan, of course, Saviors. How you guys doing today?
Good. Some numbers up.
You know,
Fucking first thing we gotta get our numbers up, man. Nigga,
Okay.
that's how we do it in King.
you know, I made these nice little overlays, and I got it looking real nice today, and I got the nice little title and stuff like that. And we trying to get right with these white people, and you just scaring people. Y'all need to stop. You need to just stop. You know, we're trying to be very professional.
Hey, they understand.
We're trying to be very professional. I'm just fucking kidding. You know, if people tune in, I'm pretty sure you guys are here because we keep it real. We don't bullshit. We just talk about the game industry and what's going on. Second podcast. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get right into it. We'll try to keep it up within an hour, but if it goes longer, it goes longer. So if you guys are at work or driving home or just listen to us, or you're in school right now on college campus and you watching us, while you should be studying your assignment, which you shouldn't be doing. Welcome. So anyways, so how you guys been week? I know me and KG and Saviors, we all been playing League of Legends. I think we've been playing a lot of that game right now.
Yeah, we duo duo my provisionals anyway. It was pretty entertaining.
What did you get placed into? I think it was S3.
Silver 3, yeah. The account though started off as Silver 2, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, when I got placed back in Silver. Then I had a raffle stomp my way back to Gold, which I did.
Yeah.
And then KG, I think KG, you went like 3 for 10, and he got placed in Gold. It didn't make any sense.
No, it was 6 for 10.
It was 6 for, so it means you lost 4 times.
Yeah.
So I went 7 for 3, got placed in Silver out of Gold, and then KG, who was in Gold before, got placed.
I was in Gold 4 before.
Maybe that's why you're in Gold 4, but they put you in Gold 5. So how's your win rec doing right now, KG? The only reason I bring that up because KG, he was playing on Tilt, and you know most people when they're on Tilt, I tell them to go eat a Snickers. Now Savis, who I think secretly works for Snickers company because he always eating a Snickers, he will tell you, eat a Snickers, you'll calm down. But in KG's case, instead of a Snickers, I tell him to go drink some breast milk because apparently he's a big fan of it. Now KG won't deny it. KG, are you a fan of breast milk? Because you know people are gonna be watching this. Don't get shut down.
Good.
You are going to hell. I feel sorry for your future son. He's gonna have to fight you.
That's just so
And he was on Tilt, and we stopped after we lost to a Blitzcrank Thresh 80 carry comp. It was weird.
That troll shit always works, man. I've never defeated a troll comp, not one time. Everybody gets overconfident, like, yeah, you know, it's a free win because they got trolls on their team, and they try so hard with that troll shit, and it works.
Well, let's go ahead and let's talk about League, right?
Yeah.
Because we all know, we kind of know what's really prevalent. We all can agree, like things like, well, in our opinion, I think we all kind of agree Dragon seems pretty important. I noticed when we got 5 stacks, we always seem to win. Top tier characters, certain characters are making a lot of big appearances, like you got your Jarvins and stuff like that. But Saviors is looking me some nice information. LCS week, Sivir's highly contested. Dragon is not that as important as presume, and Dragon Tower versus Gold Tower. So how do y'all feel about Dragon? I feel if you get 5 dragons, it's the end of the game. I feel. In my opinion.
I don't want to understate it, right? The second week actually just started. Like EU just ended their second week today. NA starts the second week tomorrow. I wanted to talk about it though. I didn't catch too much of the EU games today, but Dragon is still very important. You don't want to give those away. You don't want to give away dragons just like you don't want to give away barons, you know. But it's very different. It's much more important in solo queue to secure dragons than it is in team play. And the reason I say that is in team play, you can counter a dragon take. You can counter a baron take by pressuring the map, by pressuring the base. You know what I'm saying? You take 2 towers for a single dragon, that's a decent trade for you. But that's only really possible in team play. It's not realistic to look at that and say this is going to happen in solo queue, because solo queue, the biggest issue there is a lack of coordination.
I totally agree with that. I've noticed a lot in my sense too that it's really up to the responsibility of the jungler and pings and stuff to dictate when you guys take dragons and stuff like that. And if you're on top lane, the only thing you could really offer is maybe using your... I've been noticing in a couple matches on solo queue, but it's nice that when you have a top lane who has teleport, because every time you take a dragon, they can teleport, and they can come in and help assist it, or... Maybe you just focus, like you said, on pushing those towers, getting those objectives. Maybe not caring about the. Well, what do you think, Savis? Because the interesting is, you could just not go those first two or three first two dragons, and you could just focus on pushing towers. And as long as you get towers, do you feel that's an equal trade, or?
One tower for one dragon, no. Like, but if you get two towers for each dragon, then yes. And here's the thing, right? If you give up the first dragon in exchange for two towers, let's say two mid towers or a top tower and a mid tower, by the time the second dragon comes around, you have so much control on a map, you actually have a better chance of contesting that dragon, because now you have control of the middle lane, you have control of the top or bottom lane, because it opened up, because there's not a tower there that allows you to get deeper wards in to see where people are going to approach from. And with that, you have a better opportunity to actually fight, because knowing where your enemy is takes away any element of surprise that they have. Them not knowing where you are because you're sweeping vision, you got pink wards, you got sweeper lenses out and stuff like that, and denying them vision and putting down your own vision gives you full control of the area. The biggest thing that I've noticed too, and it's a team effort as always about vision and shit like that,
right,
is in the LCS, in OGN. 1 second.
We'll give you a second. We'll go ahead and talk. Well, I know it's in a lot of our matches, kids. You're always the first one because you seem to be mid or bottom. You always seem to be screaming about dragon and stuff like that. So pretty much, if I ask your opinion on whether towers or dragons are more important, what would you say?
Well, you already know how I think about dragons apparently, because I'm always going.
Yeah.
So okay, so maybe not all the dragons will be important at all times. It's like,
because sometimes we've gotten dragon, but then again we'll have mid tower down, top tower down, bottom tower down.
Yeah, we'll let it go. So the first dragon, I feel like the first dragon is extremely important. Like, not right from the start, because it doesn't make as big as an impact. If we could take turrets and let them get the dragon the first time, that would be completely fine, because it's only a 6% damage increase.
Right.
It's nothing. When we get higher up in levels, we're going to have a much higher percentage increase based on how much item we have. So the first dragon isn't extremely important. But, I mean, it's still important, but so in that situation, you just have to gauge based on the situation. Are we going to go after that dragon, or are we going to go after some turrets because that dragon's not important, or they're not in the right position to defend themselves?
Yeah, because sometimes I notice, like, within our games, is like, sometimes we would be so overly concerned about dragon, we would give them, like, a triple kill and a dragon, which is terrible, instead of just saying, let them have it, push the towers, and get ahead and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be interesting to see in pro play. I don't know if they're going to keep doing that whole transitional thing where they're going to be... I think it's going to be 2 team comps. 1 team comp that's just basically like, well, we're going to focus heavily on dragon, try to secure that and get ahead. And then I think the natural response will be, well, if we can't contest dragon, we'll just simply just push the lane or try to get some towers out of it. I don't know, man. All I know is that when one team gets 5 dragons, it snowballs out of control. And I think that's because of the last effect that causes, like, every time you auto attack, it adds some kind of burning sensation. I mean, that sounds terrible as I said that. All I know is that when you get 5 dragons, you can definitely feel it, because, like, there have been times when we've gotten 5, we have took it. It's to the point now, I'd rather have the 5th dragon and lose Baron. It seems.
Well, no, because, okay, so listen to this. Baron is way weaker than getting that 5th dragon, because that 5th dragon gives us 150 damage of true damage every time we hit somebody.
Yeah.
So that overtakes Baron's power by far. Ridiculous.
I would have to say that I think maybe Baron is a good in-game mechanism, because I've noticed, like, Okay, like in team fights and everything like that, and when you're just brawling, you want the dragon buffs. But when you're actually trying to close out the game, killing the Baron and getting those like minion buffs where the minions get buffed and they can push the lane, I think that is it's just a good way to end the game. Like, I don't see it as what it used to be, where Baron just used to just make you supercharge and you push towers and stuff. It doesn't. It seems like it kind of took a backseat. I don't know if I'm seeming crazy or what have you not. Yeah. But I mean, that's all. So we'll have to see what's going on. The next thing. Sivir highly contested. I haven't seen a lot of Sivers. I've seen more Jinxes, and I've seen more. I'm trying to think. I've seen more Jinxes, and I have seen more. Well, Caitlyn's always there, but I also have seen a lot of who's outside of Jinx? Tristana. Now, what have you seen a lot, KJ? Like I said, I've seen way more Jinx, way more Tristana than I've ever seen Sivir.
So you've been playing in Silver, going to Gold, and you just got to Gold. All those games in Silver, I could see you seeing a lot of Jinxes actually, but whenever I play solo in Gold, when I was playing in Gold nonstop, just sitting there playing in Gold, I would always see Sivir, and I would always see Jinx. Caitlyn comes in sometimes,
yep.
and I see a rare Corki here and there.
You know what? A lot of people used to say Corki's really good, especially when he gets his Trinity Force. You know, he gets his Sorcerer Boots, he gets his Trinity Force. But, I don't know, maybe I've just been running into Corki a lot. I don't know how technical of a character he is, but to me, he just doesn't seem as strong as some other AD carries are. I don't know. I mean, have you seen any good Corkis? I haven't seen any lately so far.
Portal Potty.
Really? That was his name?
Yep, Portal is a good Corki.
And then he'll just go around just basically massacring
everybody. Play with him all the time. So, or I used to play with him all the time. He actually still gets on. I saw him on. He is, I think, Platinum Diamond Corki, and he likes big plays.
Because Corki does have some interesting stuff. He does have escape, and he does have ways to close the gap. He can either escape or get to you when he needs to, and he has those little rockets that he shoots out. And
you know who I see? Easy.
Who?
Easy.
I haven't been seeing that many Easies. Now, when you see Easy, do you mean the AD Easy or do you mean the Blue Easy? Because we know the difference.
The Blue Easy. Always the Blue Easy.
I don't like the Blue Easy. I think it's a waste of time. Like I think it's kind of gimmicky, but I could be wrong. In late game, I'd rather have the AD Easy.
Well, the reason why they go the Blue Easy is because they have ability to get away. They have extreme ability to get away. He has his flashes to get away. His Q, when he shoots out the Q, it does the on-head effect for the fist, the glove. So it's an AoE slow. And then, you know, sometimes Blue Easy people go Trinity Force as well. So we'll have fast movement speed, a long range slow, and they have their jump and a flash. It's like you can't get on him. He gets away no matter what.
That's true. And I could definitely see that. I could see it being a very good early game to mid game, but in comparison, if you got to the end game, what would you rather take, an AD Ezreal or would you take a blue Easy?
It depends on the team I'm against.
I guess if you need somebody if you're trying to run some kind of poke comp or you need some way to disengage or control what's going on, Blue Easy is definitely where to go.
So, well, okay, think of it like this: if a Blue Easy is around, there's obviously a reason why he's around, because he doesn't have a lot of heal. But if he's a full AD Easy with no glove, you know, the fist, then there's no reason for him to have that, because he must have an extreme amount of heal. Say, Alistar, Vi, a bunch of people that'll just pull people off of him.
So what you're basically trying to say is that Blue Easy just basically can peel for himself.
To survive.
I'll give you that. I mean, he is a slippery eel in the first place, but that added extra little bit of control will make it so that people have even a harder time. But just in general, I haven't seen that many Sivers. I see Sivers occasionally, but I haven't seen it to the point in which, you know, what with the LCS and a lot of people running Sivir. I don't know why people run Sivir. What do you think people run Sivir for? I think it's just because she could deal with like a lot of. I think it's because of the spell shield. That's the only thing I can think of, and she does output pretty good damage.
Spell shield? She has nice pushing power, and she has either chase or run ability.
Yeah, that is true, and that could be used either to disengage or that can be used to chase somebody down. I think we had a game today where we had a Sivir on our team, and it was pretty nice when she was hitting that her ultimate, and we got the speed boost. We were able to close the gap on so many things and turn things around, and otherwise we don't do it. So maybe it's just maybe a pro thing. Maybe they just get it more, but it's going to be interesting to see what's going on. But I know I'm going to be watching LCS Week 2 to see what's going on. Outside of that, it does say in the little notations here, Dragon was less important than presumed, so I'm assuming that, you know, maybe some people got Dragon, some people pushed Towers. Dragon Gold versus Tower Gold. I mean, Tower Gold's always good. Cloud9 goes 0-2, Team Liquid or Curse goes 2-0, and Team Solomon gets stomped by Team 8, ends in a week 1-1. So, I mean, that's just pretty much what's going on in the world of League of Legends. I don't know. Did you get your little survey yet, KG, where it asks you from a scale of like 1 to 5, from you're very happy to you're very unhappy? Did you get a survey yet about asking you how your experience with solo queue has been, or how League has been for you for the past week?
Not from the past week. I haven't got one. I got one a while ago, though.
I know when I got one, I just basically went to, I was very unhappy, but I think that was because I just lost and I was very salty about the system and what have you not.
Did you go emo and then give them a ban?
Yeah. Well, all I know. Oh, how do you feel about this? You know they changed the system for penalties, right? Like, if you keep being very toxic, I don't know if this is correct, and I gotta double check this, but if you talk a lot of mess or say a lot of mess of stuff, and they report you for enough verbal harassment, it flags your account. And not only I think it makes you chat restricted, you actually have to play some normal games before you can go back to ranked. Like, you actually have to win like 3 normal games before you can go back to playing ranked. How do you feel about that? And also the changes to being more strict. Are you against that? Do you understand why they do it, or how do you feel about that?
I kind of like that. That keeps those toxic people out of ranks because, you know,
at least for 3 games, and they have to win 3 games. They could play 6 games and then finally, you know, win 3.
Hey. If they have to win that many games, that's good. Because you know what? If they're sitting in rank saying, like, talking hella shit, always telling people to go kill themselves, abort yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad about that. I need to stop that.
You should have died. So, even though they're doing all that, or they're talking shit, or calling you trash, or telling you you're horrible, or you're shit, you know,
I'll say this, it doesn't help the game.
It doesn't. It doesn't help the game. It doesn't help your morale. It doesn't make your team win. It doesn't. It actually probably will make them perform worse.
I think so too, and I can totally agree with that. I mean, I know I'm a hypocrite, but for the most part, I have been pretty good. I yell it, but I don't type it. But I really need to get away from that. But I haven't had that happen to me yet. Yeah, yeah, like you're so bad. Because typing out you're bad is taken away from you playing, and then also it's not going to help them to let them know and identify that, hey, you're bad. But, I mean, I think that's a pretty good, smart idea by them. If anything, if they get more strict for ranked, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And then the other punishment, which I did have occur to me, is when you AFK. Because I remember one time, I think I AFK one time because I got mad, and then I had to end up AFKing because I actually I forgot my friend's birthday party was that day, and I had to drop what I was doing. And when I came back,
oh yeah, 5 minutes, we gotta stay at low quality.
I had 5 games because you're on the lower priority queue and stuff like that. So what it does, if you guys don't know, let's say that you AFK too much and Leave Buster marks you, right? What it does is it makes you wait 5 minutes, and you cannot, like, close it down. Like, okay, if I see 5 minutes and I close it down and I go get something to drink and I watch like a 3-minute YouTube video and I come back and then I go to queue again, the 5 minutes does not start. You actually have to leave it up on your screen. And I thought that was pretty crazy.
KG did. I opened it up, I closed it up.
Oh wait.
Look, I opened it up again, and then the timer was still.
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, welcome back, Savers.
I had to take a phone call. It's my bad.
Hey, no, you better got real life stuff, man. You know, stuff you moving in the hood. You gotta be watching. I don't think we got your webcam up though.
Yeah, I had to.
So people can see your face. Be like, I watched this to see your face.
But no, you talking about the lever buster, right?
Yeah, basically you actually have to sit there 4 or 5 minutes you can't like leave for 5 minutes and come back. You have to have it count down on your screen for 5 minutes, and then it cues you, right? And then if you miss that cue, it takes you out. Then you have to wait the 5 minutes again, and you have to do that for 5 games.
I think I saw you go through that, but
oh
on
yeah,
the flip side, something different because I raged a bit in those games before we duo queued, and I got rank restricted. I don't know if anybody who plays League in the chat or anything has gotten rank restricted.
Rank restricted? What does that mean?
Yeah, I was forced to play 2 normal draft games. Not only play them, but win them before I could get back in ranked.
Why? What happened? What did cause that?
I was mean to people, man.
You were what? What'd you say?
I was mean to people, dog. Like I hurt somebody's feelings.
It's like, hey Ryan, I just told somebody to kill themselves. I don't really mean it. I'm just so sweet.
I've never said anything that extreme before.
I have. I'm bad. I need to stop. That game brings out the devil in me.
I mean, people used to watch my stream right when I played League, and they'd be like, "Dog, like you literally got reported for nothing. Like you got reported for nothing." With the rank restriction came 25 chat restrictions too.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I got chat restricted for 25 games and rank restricted for 2 games. So, I don't know, man.
One person just said in chat, I left multiple ARAMs that I got up to a 20-minute wait. Could you imagine you have to wait 20 minutes?
Queue or is it just for ARAM?
I think it's for any queue. Like, you have to queue, wait 20 minutes on the screen, then queue up. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's like they're cracking down on it. That is
so dumb.
But I guess if it's for ranked, I understand, because you got to be strict on ranked. Outside of ranked, who gives a fuck? I think if you're doing it for ARAM, who cares? But if it's ranked, yeah, because I mean, you know, once you step in the world of ranked, then it's not a game anymore. It's a full-time job. And this is how it goes and stuff. We talked a little bit about the whole Silver thing. I could see her being played, but me and Katie were...
They're still running Silver so heavy, man. Her ability to push lane with Ricochet. It used to be like the thing was people used to poke with her back in the day, and she was always picked when they changed her ult or whatever was tweaked to her. She was always picked for her ability to disengage and her ability to chase. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? On the Hunt, I think her ult is called.
Yep.
She was always picked for that.
Like
those out that yell, yeah. And with that, she's able to push down towers really well. But you don't max Boomerang Blade anymore. You go Ricochet, and you use the Ricochet to poke and just hard push the lane. Just hard push the lane. And I think you max it in lane. And
oh, I never thought about that because I usually max the Ricochet. That's interesting.
Exactly.
Then I don't have to worry about my mana, and ooh.
And then again, that's the other thing. With her spell shield, she's a very safe pick in against many of those hard CC guys out there.
Blitzcrank, Thresh.
If you run a Vi, right? Blitzcrank, Thresh, Leona, even Morgana, Annie. You run a Vi, Warwick. You literally cannot consider targeting Silver unless you've made her blow her spell shield. You have to catch her when it's down, 100%.
Right.
If you fail to do so, then obviously, you know, it's done. See, Grindy saying you max Boomerang Blade in lane. When you're playing a poke style Silver, yes, that is true. But the current way that people are playing Silver, no, you're running Ricochet to push the lane.
In the LCS right now, yeah, because I noticed they still like to push down towers. Like that's like their always biggest objective.
And it's because people fail to realize not only does it help you push the lane, but you also get an attack speed buff with it, and it helps you push down those towers much faster. So that's why you prioritize it first, because you're not poking with it. You know, the Ricochet is good poke anyway, but you're not relying on Boomerang Blade for poke in the lane. You're relying on
Boomerang Blade does cost
pushing
a lot too.
The lane and with the W pushing down towers faster. So that's why they prioritize that.
I'll have to look into that again. But okay, so that makes sense with the Silver, and they're running that in a lot of LCS. And I mean, not to seem offensive to the North America or European teams, you know, they're losing and they're winning, and I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out. But I think we're all waiting for for the Korean or the Asia
have seen
LCS.
This is probably like higher elo and lower elo, like gold, silver, bronze, that stuff. Diamond and higher, I think it's much different. Obviously, it's much different. The picks that they prioritize and everything are much different. The way that they play the game, you're highly unlikely to see a top laner with Ignite or Exhaust. You're highly unlikely to see them with anything other than Teleport. But on top of that, the picks are different. Gnar is highly contested. You know, a lot of people's like, oh, Gnar. Listen, I see Gnar get through all the time and never get picked in silver, never get picked in gold. He's
true.
Ridiculously strong. You know what I mean?
You have to respect him because he can do a good amount of damage with very few items, and his ultimate is ridiculous if you get hit by it. You feel like you're just the most idiotic person in the world, like he schools you every time he lands you into a wall with that.
He just has so much CC. He can build full tank and still be this really annoying guy. He still does a lot of damage, and then he's just a big CC bot as well. I'll have to look into the silver thing, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the silver thing.
Yeah, it just is what it is.
From what I gathered from the commentary and everything was that they were hard pushing the lane with Ricochet. So
right.
I'll pay more attention next time to see if I'm wrong, but I'm not going to focus on that right now.
All right, cool deal. All right, so that covers pretty much League until next week, until the real people start playing.
Well, there's still more actually, because there's another couple of contested picks. Rek'Sai in the jungle.
Oh, well, Rek'Sai, I heard like Rek'Sai has a 90% ban rate on solo queue right now.
I wouldn't know. You see some people say ban her sometimes. Other times she gets through and no one picks her in low. And then, again, this is a difference. In high elo, highly contested. And team play and competitive play, highly contested. Low elo, she's not even on anybody's radar. And she's so sleeper OP, man. She's so strong. And
her engages are ridiculous.
The power
and her
is
mobility.
In her tunnels. Exactly. The mobility, the amount of map control that she gains from being able to literally go from base to anywhere she's placed a tunnel to. From what I've seen her go across.
So does she have to go into a tunnel to go into another tunnel, or she can just immediately go to the tunnel?
She can go to any tunnel that she's placed, I believe.
That's just crazy.
Like she
does good damage.
She goes from one place to another to create the tunnel, I think. And then she can return back to any one of her tunnels that still exists on the map, I believe. I've also seen her
split push in some cases as well. Like, she seems like she can just get a lot of stuff done, do a lot of... She got the early game, she got a good late game. She's never a bad pick. So I wonder if... I think it's going to take some people to show her off, to get really good with her in LCS for her to really shine. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they pretty much ban her in LCS.
So far, no one has been that good with Rek'Sai, though. So they still see how strong she is. They still see how much control she has. But yeah, so far no one's that good with Rek'Sai.
Fair enough. Any other contested pick savers that you like to speak of?
I
know it's Rek'Sai.
It's mainly the Sivir, the Rek'Sai, and the Gnar. As far as mid lane goes, I can't think of anything that's too...
They're saying Cassiopeia is top tier.
I saw her run in the top lane.
I know
certain people ran her.
What's that? I know you guys heard me raging out earlier. How I said every fucking game I was playing, I'd play against an Ahri and a Jarvan.
I see so many Ahris and Jarvan.
Jarvan is top tier right now. I don't know how I forgot about Jarvan. Jarvan is top tier right now. If you're a jungler, and they're not running Fiddlesticks, we know how good Fiddlesticks is in solo queue especially, and I think he'd be pretty good in team play, but I also think competitive teams would know how to punish Fiddlesticks and play against them. But Jarvan, the best way people know how to deal with him for the most part is just to ban the Jarvan now. He's so good. He has so much synergy with so many different picks that you can run from the Rumble to the Leona to even the Gnar, I believe, because his ult works as a wall, I think, for Gnar's ult. So yeah, Jarvan is crazy right now, man. And if he's another one that's banned,
They
or
had a guy
Kings when it comes
who had
to
an
IE.
80% win rate, Jarvin, in our game. Me and Cage were playing Savius. And let me tell you, this guy was on support and he was still wrecking people. He had
Yeah, I
no
saw that.
damage. He was just straight ulting, stealing stuff, putting his little spear in the ground like he know you there, and then you try to take your little buff, and he comes in, take your buff, and he flashes out. There was so many times where at our bird, at the bird camp, where we would be about to kill him, and then he would just teleport or flash out or just escape. So I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start banning Jarvan a lot more because I don't like seeing his face, and I don't play him, so no one else should.
Yeah,
At least that's how I
he's
feel.
definitely ban worthy.
I always ban him every fucking time. Fuck him. I'm tired of seeing him.
All right.
This is the other thing I hate about him. It's not only that he can play with no damage, it's he can play with full fucking AD, no defensive items and nothing. And
Jarvan has good base damage, so he can go tanky and still be a damage threat.
Yeah, it's pretty
I'm
ridiculous.
saying, every game I've seen him in is full fucking AD, no tank gear, and he's still hard as fuck to kill.
Well, you kind of have to CC him. Like, he's another one of those guys. Like, if you hard CC counters him, because if you lock him down before he can do anything to anyone, he just blows up. If he doesn't go tanky, bruiserish, build some sort of durability, then he just blows up.
I hate when he like puts you, because whenever he ults on you, you just feel like the most stupidest person in the world. Like he just puts your junk in his junk in your face,
Yeah,
and you can't do anything. You're just sitting there. I'm trapped in this tiny ass little circle, and he's just whacking the shit out of me, and I'm dead. And, but this guy. But anyways, that's league for this week. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look at. Oh, this is a big topic, right? World of Warcraft. And Savius told me about this, and I was kind of flabbergasted. Last December, Blizzard announced plans to officially recognize gold selling, sort of. Not really. They won't probably phrase it that way. They'll have the money man phrase it in a way. But let me read this to you real quick. We're exploring the possibility of giving players a way to buy tradable game time tokens for the purpose of exchanging them in-game with other players for gold. Our current thought of this is that it will give players a way to use a surplus gold to cover some of their subscription costs, while giving players who might have less play time an option for acquiring gold for other players through a legit and secure system. A few other online games offer similar options, and players have suggested that interested in seeing something along the lines of WoW. We agree it could be a fit in the game, and we're looking forward to feedback you have to continue to look in this feature. And this is just, like I said, a long time, Blizzard always needed to figure out how to get away into the gold game or to undercut the Chinese sellers or figure out something. How do you guys feel about this?
It's really just a response to something that was already happening, and that's why I said sort of recognizing it, because it's not like, hey, you can sell your gold for real money.
Right.
It's sort of an indirect thing where you have guys who can, I guess, take the real money, buy this little token item in the game, and then take that item and either put it on the AH or sell it to somebody directly for a specific amount of gold. And that allows those people who have a lot of gold to amount of gold to get that covered in a sense, or in a way that they don't have to spend any real money,
Right.
And the guys who have money can get some gold, So you take your real money and you buy this item, and indirectly this item has in-game gold value, and so that is a way that you're buying gold.
Do you think they should just allow players to sell their own gold, though, and just put it on the real money auction house?
I think so, man. There's no harm in it, dude. Like, it is
This is
what
going
it
to happen
is. It's
anyway.
so stupid. Like I said, this is already going on. Like, for the past few years, I've known guildmates who buy game time with gold. They buy game time with gold. It's just, and, someone says EVE Online's been doing it for about a decade and it works. There's literally no harm in it, you know. I feel like Blizzard just gets upset. Many other companies get upset when you find a way to monetize their game and you don't get a piece of it, or they don't get a piece of it. You look at how strict some of the companies are with YouTubers. in their
Oh,
videos.
gosh.
You
Nintendo.
know,
We're gonna get on
shutting
that
down
a little bit.
channels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Over revenue, and it's not even a large amount of revenue. It's just revenue. You know, this is a little more. A little different, I guess, because it's like you're grinding something in the game and then you're directly selling it to somebody to make a profit. I don't know why they shut down the D3 Real Money auction house. I don't know why that failed.
I think the bigger thing is a lot of people said they didn't like it, but I always tell people no matter what you do, even if you get rid of trading, get rid of the Real Money auction house, people are still going to buy accounts. People are still going to figure out a way around it.
But
it's never going to work.
I don't see the harm in it. But no. I'm one of those people who, when I have bots, like when people say, well, bots ruin the economy, I don't look at it that way, because it's like the bots do all this work for me, and there's a very easy. I don't mind giving them my Zenny or my gold or whatever it is that I have.
Right.
That guy has 10,000 of those items. I'm not about to go grind 10,000 of those items, dog. I'm sorry. You know. But yeah, that is what it is. I don't think it's that big of a deal. If Blizzard does it, it's not going to be some huge thing. There's going to be some people that make a stink about it, but they make stinks about everything.
Well, let me go ahead and ask this to Cajun. You play Final Fantasy 14. Do you know anything that goes on like this where players are basically trading in-game gil for game time, or maybe Krista because they use that currency as well, or if it would be a good idea to allow players to actually sell things for real money or something like that? Do you think if they brought it to Final Fantasy 14 that would fly, or most of the player population wouldn't care for it?
So they do ban people for buying gold as well, because there's only one reason that they do it. It's not for the regular base of the economy. It's for, like, if you were going to go buy houses, everyone's just going to buy money to get the houses, and all the land's going to be taken by people who use real money to do that.
Gage, you know. Huh? Gage, how gangster would it be for y'all to be able to sell y'all in-game mansion for like $10,000?
That'd be some balls. That shit is gone.
How G would it be to flip houses in Final Fantasy 14?
You can flip houses though. People will still buy. They will buy your free company with your mansion to have the fucking free company and the mansion. They've done that.
Right. That's cool. But Square has an issue with it.
But Square has an issue with it. Yeah, the buying gil thing.
Do you have an issue with it?
I have to say, I don't really care.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
How does the community feel about
the community doesn't like it because those who don't have the money to purchase the gil and stuff, or to get the gil to buy the things that they want, are like, well, that's not fair for us if we don't have the money to do it.
Well, here's the thing, right? Are they talking about not having real money or not having gil?
Not having the real money to get.
Okay.
Get
so
the
then tell them to work harder and earn their gil that they need to earn then. Just, hey, get your numbers up, dog.
Then they'll look at you as big and sensitive.
But that's the difference, right? Here's the thing: it's usually the people who spend real money on stuff like this are usually the people who don't have a large amount of time to grind out the in-game currency. You know, whatever it is, play the auction house, whatever it is that earns you gil or earns you gold or zenny or whatever your in-game currency is, whatever it is that does that for you. These people don't have the time to do it. So they figure like, shit, I work a job. I work 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week or whatever. I make a decent living. Let me take $100, couple $100 and buy me some gold. Let me take let me take a little money, buy me some gil. You know what I'm saying? I can get 1,000,000 gil for this much. It's nothing. I can do that.
I mean, we all can safely agree that in any type of MMORPG or RPG-like game, no matter what the game creators do, there's always a black market, right?
Yeah.
So I would say at least if you put the black market, or the company just gets ahead of the black market and they start charging and selling and, maybe taking 5 or 10%, the company makes money and then the players can make money because it's just going to happen anyway. I think we all can agree upon that, right?
You may as well try to control it in some way if you can.
It's additional revenue for the game that you already created. I would say why not? I don't think anybody's going to get mad about this if they do implement this to WoW. I think people are going to welcome it, and
get mad about it, but I don't give a shit. And I don't.
Yeah, pretty much. And as long as people are playing the game or people are selling gold, I mean, it'll be interesting. Do you think they'll lose a lot of subs because of this? People might just grind out gold.
No, not
Really?
at all. Because this shit's been going on for a long
They're
time,
like,
and it's like, hey,
probably gain subs off of it because they will be more openly accepted and easier to do.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. It just seems like World of Warcraft. I mean, it's slowing down a little bit, but it's not slowing down to the point. It's still 10 times bigger than any MMORPG who's even close to it and what have you. Not. I don't know.
Because it's easy.
Yeah, pretty much. They kind of toned down a lot of stuff. I know. Save, you were talking about this might be your last expansion for a while, right?
quite possibly.
Would you say it's the actual gameplay or the people, though? Which is the bigger majority of it? Is it because the players have been dumbed down, or is it because of the actual development of the game?
It's a mixture of both. The player base is pretty crappy, and to me, Blizzard helps that. They don't help make it any better. They make it worse, I think, by appeasing and appealing to that sort of shit, sort of catering to it rather. And like I said, I don't want to use the term casual because that's not the right term. It's these entitled players and lazy players that are the worst part of it. And that in turn, when Blizzard decides to make these changes to cater to these people, they make the game worse. And that overall, that overall screws it up, man.
Well, hopefully they get things back into gear. I know the thing that drove me off from World of Warcraft, I remember when I was sitting there at Cataclysm, and I was running this was like the 5th day in a row, I was playing like 16 hours a day. I was getting all my gear. And I stood there in this heroic, and I had my gear on. And I saw this new guy come through, or this chick came through. I guess she got carried through. They just gave her all the gear, and she had all this gear. And I'm sitting there sleepy-eyed. I'm like, this is the same ass shit. Like, I looked, I had like an outer body experience. I was looking at my troll warrior, and I'm like, and her name's Shasta, like the soda, because it's delicious. It's a hood soda called Shasta.
In years.
So I was sitting there, I'm like, this is the same exact shit. I gotta re-gear myself up, do all these quests, to go through all these lands I don't even know or care about. There's gonna be this guy that's gonna have me kill a bunch of buzzards and some bullshit to get some rep to get these items, and gotta go inside the heroic. People gonna be bad to get this gear, to get into another higher level raid gear, just to do the same stuff. Yeah, no problem. And it's the same thing, and the people just keep dying. It's just, it was the same exact gameplay. I mean, KG, you used to play a lot of World of Warcraft. Is that a big reason why you got out?
The reason why I got out was not because of I gotta go get gear again, and I gotta go do these quests again, or do whatever the fuck I need to do. The reason why I got out is because the game became too fucking easy. There was no challenge. It was not the fact that I liked PvP and everything. I liked PvP. I liked raiding sometimes. But the point of it is the raiding got so fucking easy that I was just like, well, I don't feel like doing the other shit in the extreme part of the mode, which just takes 25 people, because 25 people is easier than the 12. And I was just like, what the fuck is the point? I did the 12, which is harder than the 24 because the 25, because you have so many fucking people that you can fuck up and people can carry you. And then for PvP, it's like, I was getting to the point where I was up by Challenger rank all the time, and the problem was you get to a point where these classes beat these classes no matter what when they're matched up against each other, even based on skill level, because their skills are just so much better than the other ones together as like a group, like a 3v3 type thing.
A lot of people did complain about that, KG, about the whole, like, every class kind of having what other classes had. There really is no class uniqueness. Like how Bloodlust used to only be the shamans, now mages and other classes can do it, and how they're kind of making everything kind of similar and stuff. I heard, even like druid healers, they got Blink now, and that used to be, like, an exclusive thing for mages.
What the fuck?
Yeah?
So, what I was saying is with that is, like, I didn't like when right after Cataclysm came out, or the next expansion, that took out all your skill trees, that made you baseline everything, everybody's the fucking same thing. I hated that. I didn't want to be part of it after that. I was like, nah, this game's too gay.
Yeah, pretty much. It just seems like it just got too dumbed down. So I see a lot of people say, for me, it was more because it was the same exact shit. Some people like yourself, it's because they dumbed down the content too much. And then, like Xavier said, there's some people that are just, you don't want to be around because they're, I don't want to say they're bad. They just don't put the same, we'll just say they don't put forth the same effort as you do. Well, I think that's the best way to say it.
That's how I feel.
You know, so it's just kind of weird. And I think the dumbing down the game resulted in a lot of players, or like I heard a lot of players were complaining about the new content that was coming out. They said it was too soon and they haven't finished the previous raid, when it's like, well, if you haven't finished the previous raid, who cares? You can finish it whenever you can and then move on to the next raid. I don't know. I've never seen anybody in Final Fantasy 14 complain about getting content or them releasing content too soon.
So Final Fantasy 14, the way that they release content, it feels like it's about every 4 months they'll release a few new dungeons, a few new what are those things called? The primal fight, like another primal fight.
Right.
And then they'll also release another raid or whatever, and then they'll unlock a higher end tier dungeon or whatever for the next.
Right.
So they've been doing that over and over again for the past however many months I've been playing now. And I feel like the instances when you're in the dungeon, they're great. Like they feel good to play. All of them have different mechanics. All of them can make you fuck up and wipe.
I do like how they make it so that your items and levels scale with what the appropriate dungeon you're doing, so you can't overgear a dungeon.
They've also done that too. They've also made it to where you're synced down if you're too high item level, and that'll make it to where you'll be playing the dungeon. You may be playing at top end stats and everything for that dungeon,
right,
but it's not like you're completely overgeared for it. It's destroyed.
I'm back. I had to deal with something.
Oh, it's all good, Savis. People concerned, like, Savis, okay? He's
okay?
So I think, just in general, I think Final Fantasy 14 is a good example of what an MMORPG should be. I think they could take a couple things from WoW, but not much, and I think WoW can learn a lot from Final Fantasy 14, because when I play Final Fantasy 14, I feel like I'm getting a good product that's fair, and I don't feel like somebody's trying to extort me out of all my money. Yeah.
I don't know what the pricing plan is as far as
$10 a month.
Wait.
Is it really 10 a month?
$10 a month.
Okay, it's 12.
That's what I thought. Like,
no, it's not 12. I just bought $9.99 Krista, and that Krista, $999 Krista, comes out to be, I hope, at least I think it's like $10.
Yeah.
And I pay with the Krista. If you pay with Krista, it's $10.
I need to do that then. But listen here. There's another guy over here in chat. He says, all Final Fantasy 14 is PvE. That is completely wrong, because I PvP all day, and they added a new front line to the thing that's called Slaughter, where you go in there with if you're in the smaller group, it's a full party for each team, and you fight against each other. You fight nodes that come up, as well as kill each other, as well as if you fight in the bigger group, it's a huge group of an alliance, which is 3 parties of 24 people each, of 3 different factions that fight in the middle. It's actually really fucking fun.
I'll say this. If you're playing Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft, you're playing for PvE. If you really wanted to play for an RPG-like PvP, then that's a whole nother story, and that's Guild Wars. Because that's hands down, bar none, the best PvP MMORPG or whatever like that, and stuff like that. It's only $9.99 for your legacy. Oh, that's why I paid less, because I'm legacy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of fantasy PvP. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when it's a slower combat system. I don't think PvP works all that well.
Do you think Final Fantasy's PvP is a slow combat system? I can show you.
I think the combat system that I've seen from Final Fantasy in general, and the way that it works, it's about the same pace as WoW. And to me, that is slow. It's too slow to lend itself to really good and compelling PvP.
PvP Guild Wars is really fast paced.
Yeah,
Like I was
the
kind of
combat in the
shocked
game
about that.
is quick and fast paced.
Yeah.
I feel like a game like a Diablo, like a Guild Wars, or like a Ragnarok Online. I always bring that up, and I think those combat systems lend themselves better to proper PvP, to exciting PvP, to the point where
you'll have to check it out.
I think
Davius, the newer PvP.
I mean, I get my PvP fix from playing League of Legends, man.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, because you're saying it's not fast paced, and I feel like it's very fucking fast.
Compare the pace
compared to Guild
League of
Wars.
Legends,
I'm like,
or a Dota, or even a Heroes of the Storm when it comes to how quick combat paces itself out.
Have to react.
That's the speed that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I understand. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, World of Warcraft PvP is pretty solid if you just want something to do. It's okay for what it is, and I think Final Fantasy XIV is okay for what it is.
Battlegrounds and what KG was describing sounds like a battleground, but Arena is pure bullshit. Arena, like all people do, especially the healers, all it is pillar humping, man. You just run around and I'm gonna line of sight some nonsense, and that is what it is. And you can line of sight stuff in Guild Wars, but casters can cast while moving. So you line of sighting does not interrupt their cast. I throw my fireball as a mage or whatever in Guild Wars 2. Guess what? The fireball still goes off. It still chases you or whatever. You hide behind a tree, then the tree intercepts it, and that's fine. That's logical in a sense if you want to even consider logic. And I'm throwing fireballs at shit, but that makes more sense to me, and that's fine. It's annoying as shit, right? If I'm a turret caster, like as a spell caster in PvP and WoW, it's all about instants, So you got to run the Frost Mage. Like Fire Mage is not even a thing. If it is, you have to run, Scorch, hope for Pyro Blast procs, Hot Streak procs, and just get the insta-cast Pyro Blast off. That's your DPS. That's what you do. But it's rough to cast because if you get caught casting, you get interrupted, you get locked out of your spell tree. So you're screwed if that happens.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that, but my mind just went so blank. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Well, the thing I also like to say about Guild Wars, if you look at their map design, they really don't give you areas where you have, because usually it's usually capture the area or contest a certain area. They never give you an area where it's going to have a bunch of pillars for you to line of sight. They don't allow you to do that. It's either you get in and you brawl here, or you get the hell out. And I think the level design and the map design has a lot to do with it. Now, I haven't played Arena's Warlords of Draenor, but I can imagine that it's probably the same arena pit. I know that one of the most popular ones is like a sewer pit.
Yeah.
You run through the sewers, and there's like boxes there, and all I see is people running around boxes.
Valorant sewers, yep.
Yeah, man, it's just a little disappointing.
They still do that. That's still around. That's still one of the ones that people do.
Like the Blaze Fist Mountain or the Blaze Place.
Blaze Fist Arena or whatever. Blaze Edge Arena.
On each side.
Blaze Edge Arena still has pillars. It has it has those pillars.
Yeah, that one was really good. I like that one.
It's got pillars to hump, man. I mean, it's more open than some of the other ones, but yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to take cover behind things. It's just it doesn't make any sense to me.
To that matter, that has been going on since Wrath of the Lich King. And how many expansions later we are?
I don't know. Let's see. There was
PvP. I remember that shit. Player
exactly. Caster equals no mobility. Like you have to play like a Frost Mage or something and rely on stuff that annoys people like Ice Lance and Deep Freeze and all of this nonsense. Pillar humping in arenas and hiding behind creeps in League are completely different things.
They are,
because you can only creep block in League against people who are locked to using skill shots. Say an Ezreal as an AD carry, or Blitzcrank as a support, or a Thresh as you know what I mean?
Because I will say this,
it blocks skill shots, yes, but
Teemo, he can shoot you with the. Oh yeah, well Teemo can shoot you with the blind over minions.
Yeah, it's a target
whereas
spell.
Pantheon, he cannot throw his spear at you. He has to be.
It's not a skill shot.
It's a target. You can
Really? I
Yeah,
thought it.
it's not a skill
Oh,
shot.
you're right. It does
Yeah,
the
I can
same
hit you
thing.
with that.
Italy, her spear is a skill shot.
Yeah,
Spear is not
exactly. That's a
skill
good
shot.
example.
Morgana, for instance, her bind is a skill shot. It's not. It's not a skill shot. Well, it is a skill shot rather, but it's not one that I get bothered by if people hide behind. You know, because there are ways around minions. I can always walk past the minions and still land a bind. You know, and if I'm good enough, I'll bind you within the minions.
Yep.
You know, if Blitzcrank is good enough, he'll hook you from within the minions. You know what I mean? Or he'll run straight at you. There are ways around it because the combat is much faster paced.
Right on then. Well, a good discussion on that, and hopefully we'll have to see you. Savius just grins and bears it through WoW, so we can have future WoW topics.
I mean, I just stick it out, man, and I do the rating as long as I have some joy in rating, because it's something that matters to me. But I don't.
When I think of when I think of World of Warcraft, I always picture like a Tauren Druid Savius and like this burning airships getting ready to hit the ground, and Savius is looking around like, everybody get off the damn airplane. He's like, he's waiting. He's like, should I wait for more people? Nah, I'm gonna have to go. He's just waiting to the last second before he dives off and gets out of there. But well, we appreciate you doing that, Savius, because me and KJ, we copped out. We don't mess. We got mad like you're terrible.
I don't know how long I will remain on the ship. We'll see.
He's just riding it out like a thug. Just straight riding it out.
We were already.
The minute that I stop having fun, I'll be done with the game. And I'll be done with MMOs in general. Just because, and that specifically is more about the community. I just don't think that players these days have the same philosophy about gaming as I do. So I think that in a game where your success is so reliant on 9 other people or 20 other people or however large raids are now, you know, in a game like that where you rely on that many other people, if you can't find people that have the same philosophy about gaming as you do, it's not worth investing the time. The only way, and it's not a realistic thing to do. I could probably get into some crazy fucking top tier guild out there, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really my cup of tea either.
So what you're saying is all that with the community on WoW and stuff. I've noticed that when I talk to the people in the community of Final Fantasy, they are not subjected only to their guild or free company. They also have link shelves that they have.
Yeah, I know.
Groups of people. So it's not like, so you can find people easily together.
KG's paying that wonderful world. KG, you remember what happened to me when I was leveling up and I was a new tank? I'd be going in the tanks, and I go in there with my gear. People come in and be like, hey, what you doing, tank? Move your ass. What you doing? You don't know how to do this? Why are you marking targets? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you do... And I did that literally from level 1 to level 50. Like, you know what? You know, it wasn't that. I would go to a mob. I'd mark it 1, 2, and then whatever is symbol for sleep or something so the person can CC, and I can go ahead and do what we do, and you attack 1, then you attack 2. I used to mark that stuff, and let me tell you, people got mad at me breaking down the raid and marking stuff and explaining stuff to newcomers. They'd be like, in Final Fantasy 14, it'd be like, you have a new player inside of this party that's never done this instance. If you complete it, you'll get some extra gil. And I want my extra gil, and I want to be a good leader. So I put on my leader hat, and I'm like, you know, all right, now walk this way, walk this way. Now you see here, this is the first mob pull. I'm going to mark a 1 here, a 2, and then this is going to be slept by the black man. People were like, just going ape shit.
So listen to this, though. I've never marked anything when I've tanked. I've never had that issue of people talking to me like that. The problem here is, it was all randoms. These aren't people that you are at max level that you sit there and you actually have went to max level raids with, you know, or max level dungeons and stuff. It's completely different at max level.
This is what KG does on his high level bard who has all this epic gear. I know that off tank is not being lazy. He's not even hitting school rotations. Oh, he wants to be lazy? The KG will switch his bow and start blasting on that mob to draw aggro and make the off tank start chasing it around the raid like, why do you got to attack it like that? And KG's like, why don't you keep it up your rotation to maximize your damage? And that's what KG does. So don't let KG fool you.
So,
Because KG made my life a living hell when I was tanking. I'd be tanking. He start pulling stuff. He's like, why aren't you holding the aggro? And I'm spamming all these keys, and I don't know what to do. And I got this big-ass Elephant Paladin trying to turn around. People thought I was special. Because that's what KG did. And that's why he's laughing. See, let me tell you guys a quick story about KG. KG is like the most craziest person in Final Fantasy 14. In Final Fantasy 14, you can actually have a house with a hot tub and shit like that, right? And if you lock your doors, no one can get inside your house. But most players just leave the doors open because they want people to come by and have a good time. KG will run in your house naked, log out inside your hot tub naked, and then you come into your house and you got this random person you don't know in this new house you just spent a ton of money in. I remember one female came in and saw KG chilling in the hot tub. He was naked, and she was like, what is this? And he's like, hey, yo, what's up? How you doing? And then 1 minute later, he got kicked out the house, and she locked the door.
She locked the door to lock everyone out. I was laughing so hard. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
man.
fantasies out in online games. You can't do
Anyways.
shit like that in
So,
life.
so
man.
basically, regardless of that, like, yes, I do that when I'm on guard if a tank's not holding aggro, but I've never had that issue anymore.
I always say that Savius is paid by Snickers, and KG must be paid by Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, no, as well as I've been main healing for the past 3 months on the Scholar, so I've been healing tanks and watching what they do. And I haven't had any issue with them not doing what they're supposed to do. The problem here is always DPS, just like any other MMO. Why can't DPS hard enough? All you have to do is deal damage. So why don't you think about your damage of what you gotta do and just do the same thing over and over again to maximize your damage? Well, they don't do that. People that have the same gear as my Bard and I'm doing like double their damage, I feel like there's something wrong here. So that's when I'll say something maybe. But as for like actually pulling people together and getting shit done, you don't really get fucking hassled or anything. These are people that are trying to get shit done. They want to make shit happen.
KG's building that. He's trying to paint that beautiful picture.
It's not.
Well, I'll say this.
There's a lot,
Final Fantasy, in terms of grouping and doing stuff like that, they're a lot better than WoW is, because WoW is just a bunch of spoiled or best. But anyways, we got to move on to the next topic. The next topic we're going to close out and finish on this today is watching games versus playing games on YouTube, Twitch streams, esports events. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you. Yesterday, I was playing some League, and then I started laying back, and I had my nice beer, my potato, and my steak. And I had on a Final Fantasy VII speed run, believe it or not, 100% 15-hour speed run. And I'm a big believer of, I love watching me some YouTube videos of games, especially because I notice I don't have a lot of time to play a lot of games anymore. So the best thing for me to do is just watch the whole storyline. I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I brought it up because it's something that I thought about, like, because I used to do this a lot. I used to watch WoW streams, specifically raiding, for a while. And part of it was to learn things. The other thing was just like I was really, really interested in raiding. It's like I want to see this boss actually die. Even if I was working on the boss, even if it was, even if I had killed it before, I would watch another group raid, and I'd just be watching raids all day. You know what I'm saying? This is before like League of Legends or anything like that.
Right.
And then I still was playing a healthy amount of WoW at the same time, though. I would watch like some Europeans raid in the daytime, maybe pick up a few tips or something, and then take that information into my own raid later in the day. Things sort of changed, for me at least, when I started playing League of Legends, and I think some of it came from negative experiences in the game. But you get to the point where you just, when you start watching shit like the LCS, or you start watching pros stream their solo queue or high elo solo queue streams, or you just start watching tournaments and stuff like that, and you see the game played at the highest level, and you almost feel like, I just want to keep watching. Like, I don't even want to play the game anymore. I just want to fucking watch people play it and see how it's supposed to be played at its height, at its peak. Even now, when, like, I don't play while the LCS is on, and right now the schedule is so screwed up. Like, there's almost always something to watch. There's almost always a competition to watch right now. The Koreans are playing, or the Chinese are playing.
Oh, I got another Unity. Oh wait,
Dude.
I did.
And yeah, I mean, there's always something else to watch. So for me, I won't play any games while I'm watching.
I like to play games while I'm watching, but like I said, I do enjoy the esports too. I love watching. It's nothing nicer than having up on your second monitor a nice like little esports. Like if you're working on something, you can work on it, then you look over. Just like people who like watching football, like watching sports. As long as the casters are pretty straightforward and it's a high level of play, I definitely do enjoy watching it. And League does have some pretty solid casters where they don't make me cringe every time they say something half-assed or they're just basically they're unknowledge of what's going on. So
Hey,
I agree with you on that with the esports thing.
Dota, and I'm not a Dota 2 guy, but I don't know if anybody out there watches Dota streams, but what got me watching Dota streams was 100% the caster. Toby Wan, when he cast that game, is so hype. He'll cast it solo, man. And I don't know what's happening. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what an enigma is. I don't know. I don't know what a BKB is. You know, I don't know what the cheese is, or I didn't know what the cheese was. I know what the cheese is now, and I know about Roshan, and I know what a BKB is now, and all of that stuff. But
I think the only thing in Dota I remember is Dragon Knight, and every time that Dragon Knight would turn into a dragon, everything would just die, and I'd be like, "That's a badass hero."
Like
right
I
there.
remember back in the day, I don't know how strong Anti-Mage is now, but Anti-Mage was like a terror.
Oh,
and everything.
that little dude with the little daggers. Anti-Mage used to be doing some crazy stuff with that little blink.
But yeah, the blink daggers.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, man. Like Toby Wan was so much stuff up about that game, man, that you could, even if you didn't know what was happening in Dota 2.
Well, esports and YouTube go hand in hand because if you don't,
caster,
if you miss the esports, I'm pretty sure Saves they are uploading this to YouTube because that's extra revenue for them, and I'm pretty sure they are.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always some Dota 2 stuff. I told you I was watching the Asian Championship.
Yeah,
earlier.
the Dota, League of Legends. But how do you guys feel about just basically walkthroughs of games or just let's plays where it's no commentary and the guy plays the game from beginning to start?
That I've never done. I've never done, and I'm not gonna knock anybody but I don't understand it. Like it doesn't appeal to me personally. I feel like if you're gonna play games, you have to be informative and entertaining, or at least one of the two.
Okay.
You need to either be like really, really enjoyable to watch, and it's enjoyable to watch you play the game.
Like somebody who's speed running or breaking stuff down and explaining what they're doing.
Speedrunners are generally good because they tend to explain what's happening, what glitches they're using, how much time they're saving or how much time they're not saving, things of that nature. And when they accomplish something like a world record, like I watched a guy. Well, I didn't watch it. I watched the video of it. A guy. He was either a Tetris speedrun. He was the guy who did the blind Tetris with invisible blocks and stuff. And he recently just became the first grandmaster outside of Japan in this Tetris grandmaster game. So I watched that, and then his reaction when he realized that he got it and it was a new world record, or actually it wasn't a world record. It was just a big thing because he was the first guy outside of Japan to be a grandmaster. Like that was cool to see. And you can tell his stream, like I think he started getting like a bunch of subs at the end and everything, and it was just really, really hype, man. And that kind of stuff. So people who don't do any sort of commentary, like you said, the let's plays and stuff, or you don't explain what's happening. Like, how can you do a walkthrough without explaining, without doing any type of commentary?
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I like. I know KG, see now on the other spectrum, KG, I know you're a big fan of watching certain games that they have good storyline, or just basically games that you don't have time to play, but you can watch them. I mean, how do you speak on that? How do you, what are some of the things you like to watch on YouTube, or do you prefer to watch Twitch streams?
So I haven't really running around watching Twitch streams on certain games. On YouTube, I do watch some games, and I'll watch like 100% clear runs or speed runs of a game, or like getting everything on the game. Because there's some games like Castlevania I'll sit there and play too. Like Symphony of Night is my game. Like I sit there and play that.
That's a very competitive game.
I love that
for speedrunning.
I play
that
game
game is
hard,
a real speedrun.
can.
So you like to watch like all the speedruns? I think they got that game down into 18 minutes or something ridiculous like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
I haven't. The fastest I've beat it in is like I think it was 30 something. But it takes a while. There's like a glitch at the start that you can do to get all the a la carte items if you do it right, and then after that glitch, you're like hella strong. You can beat the first boss real fast, but you still have to get. But I don't know if they're doing a speed run to just finish it or a speed run to get the true ending because they have to get the glasses and shit, and they have to have the boots, the high jumps. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that's factors. So I would want to see that. I would want to see how they did it in 18 minutes, if they actually did a real ending or if they just did the quickest ending possible, which is shit.
Well, we know on YouTube and we know on Twitch, people like watching Twitch. It seems like a lot of people like watching Twitch for people who are playing a certain game. Well, it just seems like now it's boiling down to people keep returning to certain people or being supportive of people who are doing either esports-like stuff or people who are informative and provide information about the game. And then you got some people who are pretty entertaining. And we know that YouTube definitely has this whole big thing with Let's Plays and all that stuff going on. But the real big question, and we're going to kind of conclude on this whole point, is watching games versus playing games. I mean, how you guys feel about it? I feel like I like playing games like League of Legends and Diablo and experiencing games like that, but I don't have enough time to go out and play The Last of Us or play the new Resident Evil. I'd rather watch them. How do you guys kind of take it?
I don't own consoles, so I mean, like certain games that come out, it's cool to check out other people. I like streaming. I'm a big fan of streaming, not only watching it and stuff like that, but I definitely feel like you can't just throw up a game and then, you know, it just be there. You go to the stream and like, okay, there's a guy playing this game. Nothing's being said. It's in silence. You don't necessarily know what's happening. You know, part of the whole thing with Twitch and everything is the community. You know what I'm saying? And being able to talk about games with other people. You know, share your experiences. You know, and that's why people, like you said, they gravitate towards certain streams because it's like, okay, this guy's playing a game that I really like, and you can talk about specific moments during the game. Like we can talk about, you find somebody that's playing Super Mario RPG or somebody that's playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and you can talk about Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah, we don't talk about Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Hey, Nugeki, weren't you the guy that did that shit to me?
What
Chaotic Gaming said when you walk like 10 sunken,
Yeah, I did that. That was pretty hilarious.
To me, right?
Yeah, I was, that's back in the day when me and Cage played StarCraft and I was being hella bad-mannered, and I got hella ahead, so I built, like, 10 of the sunken crawlers that can get up out of the ground, and I walked them across the whole map, and then I planted them in Cage's base, and he was just like, "What is this?"
I was so mad. That's when we first started. He was already playing for a while. That's when I first started, and I was like,
KG used to brag about playing StarCraft with one hand, and let me ask you this question now. We'll conclude on this point, KG. How many hands you use to play StarCraft? How many hands you use, nigga?
I use 2 now.
Yeah, exactly. you keep using 2. Look at me, I'm KG. I can use one hand.
I'm not diamond right now. I'm like, shit.
You guys are crazy. Anyways, well, I think we got some good topics, and I'll say some stuff for next week. We got about 1 hour and 20 minutes, so that's a pretty good thing. And, of course, we always appreciate you guys watching the channel. Make sure you guys check us out on our little different Twitch channels and give us a follow. Twitch TV, SPS Debo, Twitch TV, Manstan K. Well, I don't know why you have the K. I guess he wanted to get his vitamins in. And, of course, Savius Gaming, which actually does make sense. And, as always, we appreciate you guys' support and everybody's support on the Patreon, at least on my channel. Nice, guys. We finally got it to the point where it's ad-free. But anyways, well, I know Savers will just probably just say goodbye, but we do this shit with KG. We're going to see if we can do this every week. KG, what words do you have to people? Now, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind, okay? Somebody might be at work, and these might be the last words they're listening to until they get to next Friday and they get their next fix of the podcast. Leave some nice positive words for the people out there to conclude this episode.
Maybe they should be good. Because,
just say whatever comes to your mind that's not too stupid.
Hey, they should be good because, you know, that's how we do it in Kingsport!
there's gonna be like a janitor or somebody who works in a fucking library, and when they hear that, they're gonna be like, yeah, Kingsport, and all these motherfuckers at the job looking like, what the fuck is he talking about? Kingsport?
Oh, man.
If you guys don't know what Kingsport reference is, look up Diablo 3 The Scoundrel and type in like audio quotes.
Yeah.
As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm gonna go get this episode loaded on YouTube right away. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream right now, but I hope you guys are having a good day, and we'll see you guys next week. We're out. Hey guys, if you appreciate the video you just watched, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you check me out at twitch.tv spsdebo, and then if you'd like to support my future endeavors, just check me down at patreon.com/debo. Thank you for your time, and check you guys later.